Good morning. Last month, one of us asked me a question. Lina, you teach people to look after themselves, to make healthy choices, to buy organic and get all the nice products. Products that will contribute to their health, right? So, right. But do you realize that if everybody did that, there would not be enough of the good stuff for everybody? And at that moment I thought, sure, now there is a little of good stuff, a little of organic, a small organic section in the shop, well, at least here in Thailand it's really small. But if there is more demand, if the demand grows and more people make the right choices, then it will grow as well, because manufacturers will start to produce products that bring money, and if people buy the products that are healthy, manufacturers will produce the healthy products, right? Yeah, and I ended it there, being so sure that this is exactly what would happen. Now, here in Thailand we drink bottled water. Even Thai people drink bottled water. And there are different brands, loads and loads of different brands. Now, there's one brand of water that I particularly like, and I did research on it, and my friends went to the source where they bottle it in Chiang Mai and checked the source as well, what is around, what sort of area this is. Now, the water is full of minerals, it's natural, and it has very high pH. So naturally, we all, in a small circle of friends, started to buy that water only, because all the other water is, sometimes they add salt so that you get more thirsty and drink more water. Sometimes they add minerals, but are not naturally, it is not naturally mineral water, and that's the worst. And other times it's just purified water without anything in it, not much. And what happened then? When people came and tourists came and people started to write on the internet, what water do you think we should drink? And everybody recommended this brand. And what happened half a year later? You can't buy it anywhere. You can't buy it, not even half a year. It's been a year and it's so hard to get it. You have to go to the supermarket, to Tesco, and there are 2 large Tescos and a few smaller ones. 2 large Tescos, they sell this brand. And it's more expensive than anything else too. But if you're not there at the beginning of the day, say by 10 AM, the water will finish. Sure, you can buy any other brand widely available, but this brand is no longer there, and you have to hunt after it. And if you see that it's there on the shelf, you just get everything that's there, because it's going to last you a few weeks anyway. Yesterday I went to get water. Yeah, and it was there. What do I get? Half the shelf. Why? Because tomorrow will not be there. Now I can really relate to what you were saying. If everybody knows what the good stuff is, and the manufacturing plant has a limit, there is only that much water. It comes out of the ground. I don't know if they have the pumps that are enough to produce a larger volume. But obviously not. Then if people know what the good stuff is, people consume the good stuff. And people who were saying, you should only drink this water, it's the best, now want to keep quiet. Yeah, sure, there are other brands. Choose for yourself whatever you like. I prefer this one, but you might prefer some other one. This is what happens when the ship is sinking and there's one safety boat and a lot of passengers. Do we have to tell all the passengers that there is a boat out there? If everybody will run to the boat, it will sink. Nobody survives. Yet it is in your genes to help people if you know something that is good for you. Like, no, eating cheese and milk is not the right choice. You want to say it because you know what will happen to the intestines of the people. And when they try to persuade you that surely yogurt helps digestion and it's good for you because it's, well, probiotic, whatever yogurt, it's still cow milk. Maybe People like me should just shut up and let people make their own choices, because the safety boat is small. You don't need to shout, everybody, there is a safety boat. We don't want to listen. We know there is no safety boat. You go there if you want. But we are very comfortable here on the big boat, and you can tell us that it is going to sink, but hey, we don't see any water yet. We don't know that it is sinking. Sinking where? Sinking into being the victim of your desires, sinking into the traps. Traps are everywhere in life. And no, they don't look like rat traps. Scary and metallic, but they are very attractive. What is the most obvious trap? Sugar. Sweet stuff. Things that taste so good. Like a chewing gum. The intense flavor. What can you find in nature of the sweet peppermint flavor? The peppermint itself? No. The flavors were artificially produced by people. For people. And then, of course, well, some research was done, and chewing gum must be good for you. Good where? Who supported the research on the chewing gum? If there is any research that it's good for you. Anyway. Off the subject, wasn't it? There is a boat. You want to bring your family into the boat, your close friends. Like you're telling your niece. Remember our niece story? The niece loved and still loves soda drinks. And her family are fat. She is also fat. She has a problem with self-image. Okay, natural. She doesn't want to exercise. She feels lack of energy, tired. Just not 100%, right? Same thing happens in the family. You want to help, you buy her a blender with fruit. You try to teach her, you try to give her the alternative to the Fanta smoothie, fruit smoothie. Fruit smoothie takes effort. Swimming from the big boat to the small takes effort as well. And the swim is quite long. And you have to swim against the current too, because everybody is swimming to the big boat. Because it's big and fun, and there's all sorts of entertainment on it. Yay, lots of candy. Strawberry flavor, orange flavor, whatever. Loads of big screen TVs, and you just have to sit back and somebody puts food into your mouth. Already chewed. Yay, you don't need to do anything. Yeah? Your relative, your uncle tells you to swim to the small boat. This is where you're gonna feel great. Like, yeah, right. First I have to swim against the current for like months before I even get there. And getting there is acquiring the habit that will last you. Not the habit that you still feel like it's a big strain to do every day. So it takes months to develop a habit. It takes months to swim to the safety boat. With a few people. Not many make it. Some people swim for 10 meters and think like, come on, who am I listening to? I see that boat somewhere far away, and maybe I'm never gonna make it. I'm too old for it anyway. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna get there and all those weird people, maybe they're spiritual, maybe they're yogis, maybe they're just all young and I'm so old, so I might as well stay here and enjoy life because it's easy. Ooh, float back. And some swim for 10 meters and then float back thinking, maybe that boat doesn't even exist. Let's go back to the big ship. And it's like, no, surely it does exist. And they start swimming back. Exercising 3 days in a row really hard, 3 hours a day. Just to get healthy. I'm gonna exercise every day. No matter if 3 days later I give up or not. So they swim for 3 more days. Exhausting themselves. And all the muscles start to hurt after 3 days. It's like, this is really hard. I don't think I can do that. They don't realize that they don't need to swim that hard. They don't need to swim that fast. They can swim slow and comfortably. It will take 6 months, perhaps. But it would not be, you would not be able to make it in 6 days or 6 weeks. Nobody can. The distance is too short, too long. Surely you can swim 100 meters really fast, but what's going to happen later? You're going to be out of energy, out of motivation to swim. So sliding back, floating back, almost back to the big boat, back to the big boat, and then what? But I still have that sound in my head. Something is telling me that maybe that person who told me that there is a boat out there, maybe they were right. Let's try again. People try, people give up. People try, slide back and try again, and slide back and try again, and slide back, but not quite all the way to the big boat. Finally they make it. Not everybody. It's not meant for everybody. It's a smaller boat. It's the 10% boat or the 5% boat. No, it doesn't consist of all the vegetarians. And sure, there's some cheese and milk in the boat too. Just not much. Not much. Yes, there's chicken meat and whatever else, and beef. Yes, there is steak. There's even a bottle of wine, I heard. But there is not a barrel of wine. Was wine ever in barrels? Surely. Anyway, there is all sorts of stuff. Yes, there is the TV as well, and people do watch sitcoms. Just not every day, not every week. People watch movies. Is it boring out there? No. What do people talk about? Ideas? People talk about everything. Yeah, sometimes they gossip. Mostly talk about ideas, sure. It's quite cool. Interesting people. But if you want to join them, if you want to be with them, if you want to find out what it is really like, don't listen to anybody. Don't assume that that is what you think it is. Find out for yourself. Is there no way back? The way back is very easy. You just have to jump into the water and relax. And the current will take you back to the big boat. And there will still be space for you on the big boat. People will welcome you with open arms. Say, you silly thing, why did you ever leave? It's all about boats. I wouldn't do this boat example in Korea. It just wouldn't be taken neutrally. And this is not to say that it is not a good example for anybody. It's easy to understand, easy to relate to. But people who are close to the smaller boat or in the smaller boat, don't break your throat shouting to the big boat that there is a small boat out here, everybody come. You must believe me, you have to believe me, you have to come here. It's enough to say, hey guys, there's a small boat out here. And the ones who do hear you, they might come. The ones who don't, no need to push it. No need to make everybody believe that there is something else out there. This is their choice. This is their life. And if they choose to spend their life on a big boat, let them. Can't help everybody. Don't need to help. Don't need to help everybody. And only when people ask you, they cry out to you. You hear the voices from the boat. Guys, I think it's sinking. It might be sinking. Ah, no, bullshit. A big boat like this will never sink. No, I think it's really sinking. I can feel it. Then you can say, yes, it is sinking. Come here. But the swim is going to be quite hard. So start swimming now. Don't wait until the boat is up to your eye level, until the water is up to your eye level, and then you start to swim. Because at that time, everybody else is going to swim too, and people are going to go on your head just to stay alive. Hey. So which boat are you in? And I assume that most of us, I'd like to think that most of us are not in any boat, are somewhere in between the two boats. Close to the small one, close to the big one. but the current is still there. And what is the current? The current flows towards the majority. The current will take you back to the big boat. If you relax and float, it will never take you to the small boat. That's why you can't let go, you can't relax. Open your mouth and say, chewed food please, because it will take you even more down the track. You'll become heavier. And by being heavier, it's not only your weight, but your mind polluted with all sorts of shit that drags you down into the water, down to the big boat. The sad thing is that most of the people that we see around ourselves, they all live in that boat. And they have no idea that the boat is bound to sink, and it is sinking, and it's always been sinking, that they were born in it. Sinks slowly. No, it doesn't mean the end of humanity. It is only a metaphor, letting you know that the behavior of most people is self-destructive and not aimed towards happiness, but towards suffering. Behavior of choosing to follow the majority, behavior to obey the rules of the majority, to think like the majority, to value objects, to separate yourself from other people, to choose shortcuts, to choose easy options, to define the value of food by its taste, and so on. What would most people call good food? If you say, define good food, what is good food? People from the big boat would say, the food that tastes good. What would people from the small boat say? The food that contributes to your health. What would people in between say? Both. Both, but towards the one end or the other. And then when we rationalize, sure, both is good. The food that tastes good and is good for your health. Like a mango, it's sweet and it's good for your health. Now, if you feed on mangoes, you're going back to the big boat because it's sweet, has a lot of sugar, so you can't overdo it. You have to add some green juice to it. And green juice takes you right to the small boat straight away. It's like a fast track because it tastes so awful, and it takes, not necessarily, not if you mix it with apples, but it takes so much effort to make a glass of juice and a lot of shopping of organic vegetables that you think, why would I not get a Coke if I'm thirsty? Back to the big boat, slide down the track. What's better? That side or that side? It depends for whom. It really depends. You know, I used to think that I should persuade people to think of ideas, not to gossip, not to talk about their neighbors, to be above talking of what is going on around in other people's lives. Who cheated on who, and who's bought what, and who is doing what with whom, and how that is secret, but I can tell you. Spend a lot of time trying to persuade people that that is not worth talking about. I don't want to listen to that. But no, you have to hear this one. This friend of ours, she just cheated on her boyfriend. I know she is cheating. And you get sucked into it, like, yeah, okay, who is she cheating with? And so on. It isn't all about cheating, no, it's all about people, what they bought and so on. And why shake the air? Why waste the time with speeches like that? Talk about ideas, explore, develop your creativity. your abstract thinking, connect with other people, add to your ideas, reinforce them by something else, some input from other people, challenge your ideas by connecting to the right people who will question what you just said, question in a good way. Now, that's a pile of shit, that's bullshit, you can't tell us that, that's not challenging, that's being rude. But what if they say, yes, I agree with certain parts of the idea, but you should also not forget this other side. Aha, I have been forgetting the other side. Now that is interesting. It's an engaging conversation, which you will agree is much more fun than watching X-Men in a movie theater. Or Friends on TV. Or Sex City. Yes, even that. Surely it produces some emotions that we can get attached to. It's funny, Lena, you just have to relax, don't be so serious, it's fun. Yeah, it is. Fun in what way? Fun in a brain numbing way, that you don't feel your brain after you watch the sitcoms. Like, yeah, okay, what's next? I'm gonna go check my messages. There's more funny stuff. Facebook. Oh, that's funny. Oh, somebody got married. Ooh, somebody had a baby. Wonderful. Whoops, time to go to sleep. Where did all that time go? Okay. What should I do in that time usually? What could I have done in that time? I don't know. Like watch another movie? Or watch more TV? Or, I don't know, I'm just too tired, I don't want to think about it. And my stomach hurts and blah blah blah, I'm just going to bed. When you're physically not okay, and by not okay is for girls having period pains, that is not a natural thing. Girls are not meant to have period pains, yet how many consider that that is normal? Not feeling 100%, having indigestion, having headaches, that is not something that is supposed to happen daily or weekly even. Catching colds, that is not what is supposed to happen, yet it happens to many people. Why? Because they live in the big boat and they see everybody else has period pains and everybody else is taking pills to suppress their headache and everybody else has this and this and everybody is overweight, so that is normal. Now take a binoculars and look into the small boat. Oh, people can be not overweight? Oh, they're eating all sorts of shit. I would die eating that stuff. I'm gonna stay here in a happy, easy, chewed food big boat. Who wants to swim anywhere? Maybe there are sharks or dolphins that might eat you. Or whales that would just swallow you whole. No way, that swim is dangerous. You know, if I start making green juice every morning, I'm going to get fired because I'm going to be late for work every day. And then what I'm going to do, live on the street, catch pneumonia and die. Surely. All sorts of scenarios, smart brains. Well-educated smart brains. What is education? What is this? Smart intelligence. Something to make you grow. Something to make you see certain things clearly. Is Lena saying that having good formal education degree from a good university not really important? I'm sure it is important as long as you do not neglect the other side of things. As long as you do not look down at people who tell you that there is the other boat. In physics there is no other boat, we all live in the same boat, there's only one. You heard the word boat today probably over 50 times. You want to count? Yeah. I know some people have a habit of counting everything. You're converting into numbers. Numbers is just another way to see things. I'm a number person too, and structured more than emotional. So it's good to see things rationally, from a neutral point of mind, not going like, oh, that's awful, oh, that's so good, Although sometimes emotions do take me to the, oh, that's so good part, but never to the, oh, that's awful, that's so sad, that's disgusting. What was that? Big or small, hard or easy, shortcut or long way, swim across the current, not across the current, against the current. Do not need to swim at all, just float on your back with the belly up, digesting the chewed food, which is easy to digest too because you've taken pills, digestion pills. Where do you want to be? And the worst place to be is, what do you think? Right here in the water, because the current is strong, and unless you know what you're going to do, unless you're lost between this, the majority, the friends, the family, the everybody, the country, the radio, the TV, and that, Lena and that other friend I met while traveling, maybe. But it was kind of weird. Don't want to be like him. So it's just Lena. So who should I follow? Your logic, your intuition, and what you think is right. I always reinforce, walk the right path, do the right thing. Not the thing that Lena says is right, but the thing that you say is right. The thing that, aha, that sounds about right, that makes sense, that thing, to you. Thank you for listening. See you tomorrow.